All right. Can you all hear me okay? All right, perfect. So, what I want to do is kind of tell you about how I was able to help speakers book over 10,000 meetings with meeting planners, podcasters, press contacts. And when I say meeting planners, I'm talking about for small associations all the way up to the large conferences. So, let me bring this up. And I don't know how much Les went into things with you yesterday. So I'm going to go through everything as if we've never met before. And I found that that has been the best way for people to kind of understand the context and how the results were generated. Would you all agree? Versus just
Sounds
saying, oh,
good.
do this,
Yes. Hmm.
Sounds good. He made Mark do it yesterday. He,
Oh
Right.
my God, it was horrible. It was
he
horrible.
Yeah.
made Mark do it.
Well, hopefully I'm a little bit better than Mark since I came up with the idea. You know, if Mark outperforms me, that would make me feel bad. So hopefully Mark
Well,
did a
I was
really
there
bad.
yesterday, and we will let you know, Ron, if
All
he
right.
did a
Well,
better job.
You're
hopefully
not in
Mark
any
did
danger. You're not in any danger.
hopefully Mark did the worst job ever yesterday. That way it sets the bar really low for me today. So here's the funny thing. I'm not a speaker, right? So my background is as a growth hacker. And if you can you see my screen here?
Yes.
Yes.
So I started off as a financial advisor and I used to cold call people every day. And you can only imagine how many times I've been hung up on in my life, right? So I'm a bit immune to rejection in a lot of ways, but that don't mean that I like it, right? So I learned this
Sure.
thing called cold email, where when you cold call someone, you ever screamed at a telemarketer, right? When you cold call someone, you get screamed at. When you send an email to someone and they don't want to hear what you're talking about, they just don't respond, right? So cold email is a bit less abusive, but equally as effective if the person needs what you have. So I started my life doing that after I left the insurance business. And then we bought a data company that allowed us to do this more effectively. And one of my friends, she was a John Maxwell consultant like Mark, and actually, Chris Robinson, one of the head guys at Maxwell Consulting, helped me to come up with the idea for what we were doing. Because we were like, yo, can you help me to get speaking gigs with this cold email thing? And I was like, yeah, I can get you the meetings, but you have to book the gig yourself. Is that fair? So, what we learned is how do you book meetings with people, right? So, that's what we did here with PitchDB. But then I bought a speakers bureau so I could learn even more about booking speakers. And then we started a PR company because that would teach me more about how PR helps speakers to become thought leaders. You just don't want to be a speaker, you want to be the thought leader. They get paid more than just I talk on this topic. No, if you're a writer for Forbes talking about the same topic, you're going to get paid double, right? Is that fair?
Hmm.
And then
Absolutely.
recently we bought Speaker Hub. So, what I'm going to show you is why all of that matters and what we've learned from those three acquisitions, right? That outbound pitching is important, being on podcast is important, and the media still creates the thought leaders. So, real quick, I'm going to walk you through three growth hacks and then I'm going to show you the software. Because if you don't understand these, the software won't matter. Is that fair?
Hmm.
So, the first thing I
Absolutely.
learned from working with 300 done for you speakers where we pitched them last year is that proactive outreach beats waiting around to be discovered. If you're just putting your name in a phone book and hoping to find a wife someday, good luck. Right? In the same way, if you bought Speaker Hub or Speaker Match or some other directory and you said, I put my name in there and nobody called me, it's just a directory with all your competition in it. The ones who win are those who do the outreach, who say, I'm not going to wait on the person to come to me. I'm going to pitch the opportunities that I think fit what I talk about. Can we all agree that that's probably the better way to get gigs is to take
Right. The only
control of
way.
your own? Exactly. The only way to do it effectively, I found, right? That way you get what you want versus getting what they give you.
I mean,
What's
Ron,
your
really,
thoughts on
I
that,
could
Gene?
change. I could change my name to Les Brown, and then I would probably get some calls. And then they would
Even,
go, you ain't Les Brown. What are you trying to kid?
well, here's the funny thing. Even Les said, I need this.
Oh
Right?
yeah. I
Right?
mean, you need to some way with everything that's out there with the digital world. I mean, that's where brick and mortar stores fell apart, right? The game was different online. How do you get people to come to your website as compared to the millions that are out there? Now
Exactly.
it's the opposite, right? There's thousands of speakers, but who gets the gig? How do they know where you're at, where to find you?
Exactly. The proactive bird gets the worm, is what I like to say, right? So the second growth hack we found is that you got to use one stage to get a bigger stage. So Tiffany, I'm going to ask you a quick question. You can't say less. You got to pick someone else. Who's your second favorite speaker?
I'm going blank.
Okay. Tell me another speaker you know.
I was trying to think of the woman who spoke in Miami with us. The
Do you know
spunky
Lisa
one.
Nichols?
I can't. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Have you ever heard her speak live?
I've listened in on some of her webinars that she's had recently,
But you've
but
never
I don't
seen
think
her
I've
in
ever
person,
heard
right?
her speak live. No.
Exactly. Most of our favorite speakers, we've never heard speak live in person, right? Because they're using a smaller stage to eventually get us to see her in a bigger stage. So you may have seen her on a webinar, on a podcast, on a YouTube, but if she comes to your city, you are more likely to go because you saw her on those smaller stages. Does that make sense? So you got to learn to use the smaller stages to get the bigger stages. You got to always be building momentum from those stages. So I hear speakers all the time. I don't like podcasts because they don't pay. But yeah, people will pay for your conference if they heard you on the podcast, though, right? So if they don't know who you are, why would they buy a ticket to hear you live? So we're going to show you how to use smaller stages to get bigger ones, right? Is that fair? And the third growth hack was learn to give profitable free speeches. Kind of like an oxymoron, right? How do you give a profitable free speech? Victor, what are the 3 ways you can get paid from speaking?
You get a fee. You could sell on stage. I guess you could get referrals.
Exactly. Before, during, and after. You can get a fee to show up. You can sell from the stage or from the back of the room during the event. Or you can get paid after through a referral, or if you go on a podcast, someone hears you a month later and they go to your website, they set up a meeting with you, they buy consulting from you. Or they buy a ticket when you come live to their area. Les is going on tour. A lot of the people, that'll be their first time ever hearing Les live and in person. But they may have watched his Les at the Georgia Dome video that he filmed 10 years ago. And he's still getting residuals off of that by people showing up and buying tickets at his current events in 2024, before, during, and after. The best speakers get paid 2 out of the 3. So if someone doesn't pay me to show up, I'm definitely going to ask to sell from the stage. And can I record it? So that I can put it on my YouTube channel, on my social media, so I can get paid afterwards. That's profitable free speeches. Is that fair? So let's go back through. The first thing you want to do is to be proactively pitching. The second thing you want to do is to pitch every stage, but use one stage to get you booked on another. So let me give you a great example. How many of you have been on podcasts? Let me stop to share for a second because I want to talk to you. Been on podcasts before, right? How many of you have sent the link to a podcast to get a gig? Exactly. You're not using your smaller stages to get on the bigger ones, right? Your number one job is to be event planner insurance. What do you think I mean by that, Tom? Tom Shaw. What is event planner insurance?
What is event planner insurance?
Yep. When I say your number one job as a speaker is to be event planner insurance.
Yeah, by this, what you're doing currently to ensure that you're going to have a future gig to go to.
Okay, that's part of it. But let me give you exactly what I mean.
Okay.
The event planner puts their job on the line whenever they hire a speaker. because their reputation is on the line and that person is representing the company. So imagine IBM brings me in and then I walk on the stage. What up, mother? They like, hey, who hired this dude? Did you even listen to him before you didn't know he was going to come up here and curse everybody out and start, doing obscene things on stage? Did you vet this guy? So your job is to be event planner insurance. But how do they try you out?
They look at what you've done previously on social media and different places and podcasts and so on.
But if you're not sending those, how do they try you out? You're expecting them to go look for them.
Yeah, they just have to go by what you say if you know.
Yeah, so you got to start sending those things, right?
Yeah.
So if I know I want to work, I find out, man, the insurance conferences, they pay a lot. Cool. I'm going to start going on the insurance podcast, right? And then I'm going to start reaching out to the local insurance associations. I'm going to send those podcast interviews to the local insurance associations that may have 30 to 50 insurance agents that meet every month. And I'm going to go speak there and I'm going to tell my nephew, hey, come with me and record this room with 30 people in it. But be sure to get the insurance logo in the background while I'm speaking. Don't you turn that camera around and show that there's only 60 people in this room.
Well, also, I think in regards to having somebody available to film it for you, it doesn't have to be high tech. I mean, I've got an iPhone 15 and man, it's as good as any camera out there. And so it doesn't have to be a huge expense. If you're going to, right now, probably none of us can afford to pay somebody to do it with us. I mean, hey, they need to be happy they're getting to go with me on a trip or something.
Exactly. That's why I said your nephew, right? That's why I said your nephew, your daughter, someone, because then and even if you have to go by yourself, how many of you use your iPhone while you're on stage? None of us. I don't. I leave it. Usually it's in my pocket while I'm talking. So you know what? I'm going to put it on a tripod over on the side and record myself, right? And then now they got these apps that'll follow you around and zoom in on you while you're on stage, as long as you focus, once you set it up. So you just set up your iPhone, go give your talk in the small room, right? And then now what did you just create? A speaker reel.
Yeah.
Right? How many speaker reels do you have? Put it in the chat, the number of speaker reels you use right now. 0 is an okay number. 1 is the normal number, right? Let's see. 1, 1.5. I don't know how you have a half a reel, Vernita, but okay. I trust you.
It's not done. It's being updated. So I put 1.5 because
okay,
it's not done yet.
So Gene said he got 8 to 10. Gene, tell me, let's go through it. Why you got 10 of them?
It was really just content that we did. And then the guy that I work with cut them into reels so that we had multiple so we could release them at different times.
Gotcha. Okay. That's a good reason. I'm going to show you another reason why you need more than one. If I'm going to talk in the insurance,
I have one, but I have multiple small 1 minute reels.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a 1 minute speaker reel. I'll tell you why you want multiples. Here's the reason. If I'm going to go speak at an insurance conference, I don't want to send them my real estate speech. I want to send them the reel with the logos in the back they recognize. If I'm going to go talk at a real estate conference, I don't want to send them the one with the Northwestern Mutual. I want Keller Williams or Remax.
Yeah, Remax is probably who you want.
Right? Yeah, I want some real estate office in the background, right? So that they know that I've talked to this audience before. So we call it a shock and awe box, right? It's a crazy term from, a long time ago, but shock and awe. I need them to be like, oh yeah, this dude he's already qualified. When they listen to my podcast, when they see my video, they should know that I'm already comfortable with their audience. Because what am I trying to buy? I'm trying to buy event planner insurance, right? I need them to be secure that when they hire me, there's no risk of me doing something obscene and embarrassing them. Because they have to meet with their bosses to explain how I ended up embarrassing them if that happens. Is that fair? So we're going to proactively pitch, right? We're going to use one stage to get more stages. meaning our podcast, our videos from our nephew. Go on Fiverr and get a speaker reel done for $40 on Fiverr.com. Fiverr. So you can have multiple reels. Every time you go give a speech, invest the $40 and turning that into a reel, because you're going to use that to get the conference. Does that make sense? Vernita, question.
Yeah, so I just want to clarify. When you say speaker reel, are you speaking of specifically like the large speaker reel that goes through the process, or do you mean have a collection of reels that that showcase you speaking, not necessarily the the larger speaker reel that I've seen, but different ones to showcase? Because I want to make sure that I'm clear on that.
What I'm saying is this, right? So I'm going to go here. This is Diamond, right? So Diamond is packaged really well. Let me see if I can share this here and you'll see what I'm talking about. So this is Diamond.
Like, this is the path you were
Real.
meant to walk. Do you always feel that way? Do you always wake up ready to put in 100%? Being an entrepreneur is hard.
Right? So this is only like 4 minutes. It's not her whole talk, but it shows her,
yeah.
Wait, look at that stage she's on. Like, holy crap, where was she? How did she? This is proof.
Right.
Do you see what I mean? Professional headshots, all of those things tell the story. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So you mean the actual reel then? Okay.
It
That's
can
what
be
I wanted
1
to
minute,
clarify.
it can be 2 minutes or whatever, but it needs to show you talking to their people.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Does that make sense? They're not really looking at you. They're looking to see if anybody else that's like them trusted you. Is that fair?
Mhm.
So, Ron, you're essentially putting out a trailer for them to want to go see that movie.
For them to buy a ticket, which is you.
Right.
I gotta get you to buy the ticket, or at least put in a bid for the ticket. But again, I'm trying to make sure that event planner is secure as possible, that I won't embarrass them. Right? Let me give you a great example. This happened with Mark and I this weekend, right? So when I was first introduced to Mark and Les while I was at this conference, there was another speaker in the room. And someone had introduced me, and I kind of downplayed it a little bit. And Mr. Brown asked, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I help speakers to get booked." And he said, "Okay." He's probably heard that 1,000 times. So I didn't push it. Okay. And he said, "Well, we got a speaker. It was a lady with us." And he said, "Show Mark what you do." So I showed Mark, and there was another lady. I said, "Well, look, let me put her information in," because Mark was a little busy. And all you heard was, "Wow, holy smokes, that's incredible." Mr. Brown said, "Hey, look, show me now." But he needed insurance, because he was like, he's already having an important conversation. If he's going to invest some time in a stranger he's never met before. No, we eventually spent 9 hours together over the weekend. But it was because of that other person gave me the insurance. Another one of his students gave him the insurance that I wasn't going to embarrass him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Which is why he was like, "Look, I need you to." How much trust do you think he has to have in me to have me here teaching? It's because he saw something in the room. He's like, "Yo, this kid's figured it out," and he saw the relevant proof that there wouldn't be any embarrassment. That's what you're trying to buy. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So that's what your speaker reel does. That's what the podcast does. That's what the small group presentation does. That buys you the insurance for the bigger stage. Nobody teaches this because they don't know how they got on stage to begin with. My job was to put people on stage, so I had to figure out a formula. Is that fair? So let me share the rest of this with you, right? And the fourth kind of bonus hack is you got to have the right tools and data sets. How many of you have a list of speaking gigs that you can pitch right now? Right? Vernita, how many pitches, and I'm not picking on you, I'm just asking, how many outbound emails do you have? How many emails do you have on your list?
How many emails do I have? Meaning examples, right? of
Yeah,
the
like
pitches?
conferences that you can reach out to.
About 4 or 5.
You have four or five conferences, not the actual emails, but the email contact information of the event planners. Do you have a list of those?
Oh
Any?
yeah, I'd have to go to my email to look at it. I got a bunch of them because I'm constantly looking them up, trying to see and find individuals.
Okay.
So
And
I would have to look it up, but maybe 100 and something over the time of me looking and and searching and trying to find, organizations and differences,
okay.
different organizations.
Is anybody on the call today proactively reaching out right now on a daily basis? Not a sometimes, not a monthly, on a daily basis. Okay. 99% of the times is because you don't have the data. It's like if I knew who to talk to, I would talk to them, right? It's like if a crude example is dating. Well, where do you go? If you're looking for a wife, where do you go? You don't go to the bar, you go to church, or you go to some charity event where those people are that you may want to date, right? So you got to go where the bees are. Does that make sense? What we've put together and what I'm about to show you is we have the honey that gathered all the bees. Now all you all have to do is to find the bees that you want to go speak at. Is that fair? So let's take a look at that, right? And who wants to be my volunteer? Because we're going to use a volunteer. All right, Tom, you put your hand up quick. Tom said, do me. Okay, give me 2 minutes and I'm going to walk you through. We're going to use you as our example to demonstrate how
Great.
we use these growth hacks to get you booked.
Perfect.
So we basically separated speakers into 3 groups. We call them emerging, which are under 3 years, and usually they're comfortable without kind of getting nervous asking for $3,000. An experienced or professional speaker has been at it for 4 years, and they're comfortable anywhere from $4 to $8 grand without, how you get nervous when we call it the pucker factor. They don't have to deal with the pucker factor if they're over. Gene knows what I'm talking about.
I always ask them what's in your budget. I try
Yeah,
go the
you
other
try to
route.
avoid saying his number.
What do you got in your budget? Let's see we work with
right?
this.
And then there's the elite speaker who's been at it for over 8 years and they're comfortable asking for tens of thousands of dollars, right? But everybody shouldn't pitch the same gigs. The elite speaker shouldn't be pitching the little baby gigs that the emerging guy is going on. And the emerging guy definitely ain't going to get booked for the Les Brown elite gig. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So we've developed a system in order for them to kind of grow up into it. We call it the SpeakerFlywheel, and that's what this is about. So the first session, if you're an emerging speaker, you really should be focused on podcasts and associations. And associations are groups with under 100 people that have monthly meetings, because you need more stage time to work on your timing and your story and your cadence of how you tell your story. Is that fair? But the podcasts give you the time, give you the experience of telling the story, learning which parts you should add to it, because you're getting questioned about the story.
Mm-hmm.
So when you ever open up for a Q&A, you've done 50 podcasts. You ain't scared of those questions because you've heard every question 100 times. But if you've never gone on the podcast to be quizzed by an interviewer, you're going to get caught off guard in some way. Does that make sense? And most of our speakers that we've heard about, we heard them on podcast or on YouTube. We've never seen them live and in person. So now you're building your audience. Right? So people say, oh, I've heard of Gene. I've heard of Tiffany Elder. Right? But you go and get the stage time. You can do one of these a week at a local association. Let me give you a bonus real quick. Did you know there's only 3 speeches you can give? Dr. Mari, did you know that? There's only 3 speeches. Only 3. Here are the 3 speeches you can give. You can help someone become a better leader. You can help someone to improve a skill. And you can help someone to make money. Think of any speech you've ever heard. They fit in one of those 3 categories, if not multiples. So what does that do? That eliminates you having to say, I can't go talk at that conference. Do you help people be better leaders? Yeah, you can talk at that conference. Tomorrow, I can go talk at the American Association of Gynecologists. Why? Even though I know nothing about medicine, I'm not qualified to deliver a baby, but I can go talk on leadership. I can go talk on a skill. How do they build skills to get more customers? How do they tell their story about new techniques that have come in the medical field? Do you see what I mean? I can go teach that, even though, but they're not looking for a 5'7" black guy that wears a blue shirt every day that wants to teach people how to get on stage. They're not building a conference around that, but they still need me. But I hear it all the time. I talk to black women about how to win the lottery. Ain't nobody looking for that. But that's a make money speech. So you should give that speech. But we hear it all the time. So the rookie says, I'm looking for people that are looking for me. The pros say, I'm going to fit my speech into their conference. I'm going to find out whatever their conference is, and I'm going to pitch to that. Make sense? Is this good
Yes.
or no? If I'm wrong,
Yes,
I'll
good.
end right now because everything else builds on top of this. You got to be willing to be flexible to say, I'm going where I want to be. Right? See, one of my favorite books is this one. It says, if nobody loves you, create the demand. Right? So if ain't nobody looking for you, make them look for you. Tell them you out here. Right? Be flexible in your topic. If you can give, what are the 3 speeches? Leadership, skill building, make money. Those are the only 3 speeches that have ever been given in history. Even Jesus taught people how to be better leaders, how to build more skills, right? Right? And then make money, how to get blessed by God. He gave the same speeches. Right? So here's the speaker flywheel for emerging speakers. Here's how we call it the 15-minute speaker success formula. All you got to do is pitch 2 podcasts a day and 3 associations a day. And you'll end up on 48 podcasts in a year and 12 local association gigs. How many of you all did 48 podcasts last year? Anybody? How many of you did 12 live speaking gigs? Right? This puts you in the top 10% of all speakers. As an emerging speaker, you'll be in the top 10% of all active speakers worldwide. I know because Speaker Hub has 61,000 speakers in our database. So we know the activity of the speakers. We know they're not speaking that much. Does that make sense? How many of you want to be top 10% speakers, at least by activity? That means you're in top 10 by income. Because the guy can charge 70 grand, but if he's only doing it once, who cares? But if you're charging less, but you're doing it more, makes sense? So that's the emerging speaker. But guess what? Everybody isn't emerging. Some people are experienced. You've done associations. You've been on a bunch of podcasts. You're ready. Mark used to be a pastor. He's spoken in front of hundreds of people every Sunday and probably 3 days a week for Bible study and everything else. So he has thousands of reps in front of people. He don't need to learn crowd control. He ain't going to be embarrassed if he gets up in front of 700 people. He's going to be comfortable because that's just Easter for Mark. That's Easter Sunday. Right? Every church is packed on Easter, right? So you can add conferences. Well, how much more work does it take for conferences? Just 5 more minutes. Pitch 5 conferences on top of your podcast and your associations. This makes you a top 5% speaker because on top of your 48 podcasts, your 12 monthly, 12 one a month, 12 association gigs, you did a conference a quarter. Does that make sense? The average podcast has 431 listeners. So somebody multiply 48 times 431. What'd you come up with?
Just under 21,000.
How many?
Just under 21,000.
Yeah. Would your life be different if 21,000 of your customers were referred to you? Do you know a podcast is a referral? If you don't believe me, what are we doing right now? I was referred to you guys. It's a referral. What better thing can you get than an endorsement from a person to their audience? If you were referred to 431 people, think you would sell more courses and trainings and consulting? Probably would. Don't underestimate the power of podcasting, because your voice is only one method. Being on stage is only one method of getting your message out. You can sell courses. You can speak from the stage. You can be on podcast outside of that. Is that fair? Okay. All right. Because if it's not, then the rest of this ain't going to make sense. Okay. Right? So the elite speaker adds media. Imagine being able to say, I was on this podcast, and then you get a local realtor association gig. And then they bring you to the national conference. And then you say, look, I was the keynote at the National Realtors Conference this year. You think a real estate magazine would have a problem giving you a column if you spoke at the National Association? They're going to give you a column. And then guess what? You think more podcasts are going to let you come on their podcast if you're you're the real estate columnist for Forbes? Going to get on bigger podcast. Think they're going to give you more association gigs? You think your fee going to be higher when you go to the conference? When you go to the next conference? Is this making sense?
Yes.
Absolutely.
This is the flywheel. You got to build this momentum. The issue is that people do pieces of it, and they don't know how to make one lead into the next one. I got to use my momentum. Tony Robbins did 250 speaking gigs 60 days before the launch of his book. They were all podcasts. He did 250 podcast interviews 60 days before the launch of his book. In 2 months, he was on podcast all the time. Because he could reach more people. But guess what? I guarantee you that podcast is going to lead into more people coming to his conferences, so forth and so on. Got it? Any questions?
Or is all this information going to be available to us to kind of?
I'm gonna walk you through. I just want to, but I want to set the stage for what we're going to show you. Because if I just show you this, you're going to say, well, what do I do?
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
But if you know that I need to use podcasts to get in associations, and I need to use those gigs, my speaker reels from there to get me the conferences, and I can keep building this momentum over time, a flywheel goes faster and faster. You ever been fly fishing? It starts off slow, but that thing goes. Once you hear that, that's how they build wells now. The water wells, they build them on a flywheel now so that they perpetually produce water in Africa, right? That's what we're trying to do in your speaking career, right? So the elite person should be doing a lot more, but it still only should take them 30 minutes a day, right? And they're going to end up doing what we feel. We see them on a lot of podcasts. We see them with YouTube videos all the time. We see them at conferences. Because how are they doing it? Because their team is constantly pitching. All right, so let's get into the tool. This is Speaker Hub. This is what we put together, right? You want to see the tool or no? Or should I not?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to see the
want
tool.
Make sure
I got tease us like this, and then you're gonna
come on. I want to make sure you're ready. You know.
Yeah, we're ready.
Coach Sonia may be like, I don't want to see that tool. Just send me the money.
She can click off the Zoom in.
Right.
There's
a leave button on that if they don't want to see it.
I want to see it.
All right.
She wants to see it. Everybody here wants to see it.
All right,
yes,
here we go.
We're waiting.
Hey, look, Ron, we showed up.
I got you. I got to make sure Tom's ready. Tom's going to be our demo. So
I'm ready.
Here's the first thing that we give you. You get a speaker page. This helps you to show up in SEO. When somebody Googles you, right? I'm going to show you an example. Let me share again. Share Diamond, right? So this is Diamond, right? And when we type in Diamond Drip Speaker, okay, so she hasn't finished her page yet, but I'll show you a different one. Let me just type in here. Let's use Sean Fair, right? We type in Sean Fair, it brings him up, brings up all of his web pages. And the seventh thing on the page is his speaker hub page. But most people, if they're looking for him as a speaker, they're not just going to type his name, but they're going to type in Sean Fair speaker because they're trying to find somebody. They want to make sure they're finding the one that's the speaker. Is that fair?
Yep.
What showed up before his Instagram? His speaker hub page.
Yeah.
So you get that, right? If we do that again with Tandra Price, right? It shows her speaker hub page first. That's how good it is in SEO. It's going to bring, when they search for you with speaker, it's going to bring you up. You don't want them seeing your Instagram where you may be on there TikTok dancing. You want them to see you want them judging your speaking, not your ability to do this. I'm a horrible break dancer, right? So that's the first thing you're going to get. You're going to get that, right? You're going to get this speaker page. And then we're going to give you the CRM to keep all of your data and so that you can upload the leads that you may already have. And then we're going to give you access to our data. You all use OpenAI. We built our own thing called Speaker GPT that will automatically match you with speaking gigs and write the actual pitch for you. Tom's about to show you that, right?
Yeah.
So when you put it all together, it is a full hub. It works together, one into one. So here we go. Tom, it's your turn to shine, man. I'm about to share the screen with you. I'm going to send you a private link.
Okay.
That we're only going to share with you for now, and then we're going to give it to everyone else at the end. All right, let me see. Let me stop my share here. And here we go. Let me give you the link.
It'll be down in the chat.
Yep, I'm going to put it in the chat.
Okay.
And pull up the Zoom, and let me make sure only Tom gets it. Our volunteer, Tom Shaw.
There you go.
There we go. So go ahead and share your screen, Tom. Can you give him, Tom Barnes, can you give him access to share, please? Did he give you access or no?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Okay.
I hit share.
Perfect. Yep. And go ahead and click that link that I sent to you. If you can paste it in there.
Okay. All right.
So go ahead and sign in with Google or Microsoft. Which one do you use?
Google.
Okay, go ahead and click sign up with Google. You see that on the right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, these pictures of everybody are in the way. Here we go. Google.
That's exciting. All right.
It is.
So basically, on this page here, Tom, what you're going to do is put in all of your accurate information. It'll take about 45 seconds to do, but it's really important because this is what trains our AI. If you mess this up, everything gets messed up. We made him nervous, guys. You see, he can't even type anymore. He's getting nervous over there.
Well, I promise you that my typing skills are not very good. Let's see, what is that website? I just got it like 30 seconds before I got on here, so I'm trying to remember.
Okay, let's put it in there.
Well, here.
Just a word to the wise. Everybody here, you should own your name as a domain, right? If there's someone with the same name as you, go get it before they get it. Right? That's important, No, it's a website, not an email.
Okay.
So it's going to be emergence coaching or something like that, but it's not going to be an email.
Yeah. I don't know what probably is .com.
Let's test it. Can you copy and paste that up in the top real quick? Because I want to make sure we get it right. I don't want it. And go ahead and open up another tab. You can hit the plus sign and open another tab and paste it in there. All right. So that's not ready.
No,
Right?
it's not ready yet. Yeah, I literally was working on it right before I
Okay.
got.
So we're gonna have I wanna pause for a second. Is there anybody in the group right now that has an active website where you have
I
your
do.
own website that's actually functioning?
I do.
Yes.
Who's that? Vernita?
Go ahead,
Yes,
Vernita.
I do.
It's easy. Vernita, are you on your computer or on your phone?
I'm on my computer.
Okay, perfect. We need you on your computer. So I'm going to send you a chat. Tom, I'm going to work with Vanita for right now, but keep your account. But I want to make sure we can get the full experience. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yep. Not a problem.
Because people are going to judge me based on the results. And if I only can show them 70%, they're going to think that's all I got. So I want to give them the full experience. Right? So Vernita,
Yep.
I just sent you the private link here.
Yes.
And go ahead, Tom. You can go ahead and stop the share.
Okay. Well,
It should be a red thing that says stop sharing.
yeah, I found it. It had disappeared. All right.
All right. All right, perfect.
Okay.
Vanita, go ahead and sign in with your Google or Microsoft. Yep. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and put your information in, your business name, your website. All right, and then your LinkedIn.
I always forget that URL.
Yep, go look it up. Let's look it up. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then on the left, you're going to see your on the left, you're going to have your profile. Click on your name there. Yep. And then copy that out of the top. Vernita Stevens, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yep. Now, what happens, the reason why we needed his website is because our AI is going to go out and read his website. And then it's going to look at his LinkedIn. And then it's going to try to write like Vernita. Does that make sense? Because you don't want to send a pitch from Vernita talking like me. We ain't the same, right? Job title. So that would be speaker, coach, or something like that. It isn't like founder or CEO. Nobody's looking for that. They're looking for a coach or a particular type of coach to come talk. They're looking for experts. Does that make sense? So what type of speaker are you? So you would say leadership speaker, diversity, equity, inclusion speaker. Do you see what I mean? Because that's what they're searching for. Right? We got to make it easy to be found. There you go. Right? And then scroll down a bit. And then in the job description, I help someone to do something, right? So in my case, I help speakers to get booked on more stages using the SpeakerFlywheel, is what mine would say. Right? But one second, you help people find their voice. Are you a vocal therapist?
No.
Okay, so you got to get more specific because we need to know. We don't want to be confused. Perfect. And how do you do that? Perfect. That is perfect, right? So go ahead and you see where it says silence, erase the period, and then it could be, you could put a comma there.
Okay.
Perfect. Now hit accept. And next. Now, why is that important? Whenever you're describing what you do, you never want it to be generic because then you sound like everyone else. You got to tell who you do it, who do you work with, what do you help them to do, and how you help them to do it. Because there are other people who help people to find their voice, but they may not teach them to do it by turning their challenges into something. Is that fair, guys?
Mm-hmm.
So be sure to say who, what, and how, right? So how many podcasts would you like to appear on each month? Okay, and hit the next goal, right? And how many associations would you like to talk to each month? Right? And hit next. Go ahead. How many media outlets would you want to cover your story? Yep. And how many conferences? And if you have a podcast or a stage you want to put people on, would you want to invite people on your stage?
Yes.
Okay. How many per month? 2.
I don't, but I mean, I would.
Okay.
So is this only if you have a podcast? Is that what this is for?
It's if you have a podcast you're currently putting on events. You can put it back at 0. It's okay. You can adjust these in the future.
Okay.
Right? All right. So how many of y'all could do this part? Can you put your information in and tell us your goals? Cool. You don't have to do anything else after this. Watch this. Go ahead and click all set. In those 2 minutes, we wrote this bio on Vernita. Right? So go ahead and read it, Vernita, and let me know if it makes sense.
Okay. As a passionate diversity, equity, and inclusion speaker from Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm Vernita Stevens, dedicated to empowering individuals to embrace their unique perspectives and experience with fervent belief in the transformative power of communication and understanding. My work revolves around opening doors for dialogue and fostering environments where everyone feels heard and valued. My focus on teaching others to convert obstacles into opportunities for growth and learning has made me a respected voice in the communities and organizations striving for change. Navigating through my own journey of overcoming being silenced, I've honed my skills necessary to help others find their voice. I guide individuals and groups to speak their truths and stand up for themselves, turning personal and professional challenges into powerful teachable moments. By breaking down barriers and promoting inclusivity, I aim to create a ripple effect of empowerment that transcends personal boundaries, leading to more empathetic and equitable spaces for all.
Is that good, bad, or the best thing?
I think that's pretty good.
Pretty good, right?
That's really good.
In 3 minutes.
Sounds like you, Vernita.
See, wrote it in her voice, talked just like her, included her DEI along with the voices, helping people find their voice. You see how they included all of that in there, the inclusion part? Because that's what she talks about on her website. That's what her posts are about. That's what her LinkedIn is about. And then we tell her, well, here are the people we think that could use that. These are the organizations you should target. How cool is that? Right? So go ahead and click next. Look at it. She's like, let me tune this up. Just
they got me as a his. They put his.
Okay. Well, we can fix that, definitely.
Yeah, so I just went on it because I saw it.
And go ahead and connect the email address you would be sending from. Whenever you send a pitch, it never says Speaker Hub. It always just comes directly from you. Does that make sense? So we give you the data, but it's coming directly from you. Right? But all right, and go ahead and hit done down at the bottom. So now she's connected her email account. She's ready to go. Right? Here's the academy where you can watch the videos about the stuff I'm about to show you, but we just gonna hop right in. Go ahead and click on podcast on the left. Our AI is already matching her with the podcast. You notice she didn't even search for anything. We're already matching her with Inclusion Podcast. Make
Quick
sense?
question. Does it only work with Gmail and the other option?
Yep, we found those to be the best because they have the highest deliverability rate. A lot of times you can if you pay for your email through Microsoft or Gmail and you use your domain, it works. It doesn't have to be at gmail.com. It could be at
Okay.
speakerhub.com because I paid Gmail for them to host my email. But we found those to be they get the most deliverability. Right now, we're averaging 60% open rates on all pitches sent from our system. 60%. Most people don't get that much on the people that ask them to email them. Not to
So
mention
if you're not
emails.
hosted on those, if you're not hosted there, you need to tweak some things first.
Yep, you should just
Okay.
go get a free Gmail. You'll be just fine with a
Okay.
regular Gmail. Right?
Okay.
I send all of my pictures from ronstoryjr@gmail.com because I wanted to eliminate all the excuses when people say, I need to use my own name. Don't nobody even see your email no more. Tiffany, take out your phone. Grab your phone real quick while we're here. And open up your email, the latest email you got from somebody. Right? If you don't mind, tell us who it's from.
From Discover Card.
It's an ad. It's an ad from Magical Maids calling to try to get some cleaning business. Never heard of them.
What's their email address? Without clicking on anything. Don't be
Oh,
clicking a
it
bunch
said,
of stuff.
sorry, it just said magical_maids@mail.something. I don't know.
Did you have to click on it to see it?
No, it's on the main screen.
Okay. So they must put their name as the email, right?
Okay.
But most people, like when I got an email here from Cody Sanchez, you notice it just says Cody. It doesn't give me her email address.
Okay. Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Right? I got to click 6 times to get to her email. Right? So they never see whether you send it from a Gmail, a Hotmail, a Yahoo. Nobody's ever said, I would have booked it, but she didn't spend that $7 on that professional email. They're not that petty. Like, this is 2024. Nobody cares. Right?
Okay.
So we think that matters, but it's just a little insecurity. Like, oh, I want to be professional. They're never going to see it. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled program. But great question. Right? So let's say you wanted to go on this one with Jonathan. Now, how many podcasts did we find that matched what you were talking about? Look under that thing. You see it says podcast search?
7,203.
So we got your topic. So you got a lot of opportunity out there. Lisa Nichols has been on 2,400 podcasts. You got to go catch her. Okay? So let's say you want to go on that equity and the element of inclusion. Click on the title. Over on the right, we bring up the podcast so you can listen to it to make sure you're going to be a good fit. Last thing you want to do is go on a podcast with somebody who just want to argue with you.
Right.
Right? So you see how you can play it over there? Right? But go back up to the top. Let's say that's one you want to go on. Scroll back up in the middle. Yep. And click add to list. So this is just like putting some of your shopping cart on Amazon. Go ahead and put that in the list. Click on the list there, up above where it says choose a list, and add it to the default one that we already created for you. And hit save.
Okay.
Now click pitch. What we're doing is validating that we have the right email address. And in 5 seconds, right here on our page, click open in full view so they can see it. The full pitch is written directly to that podcast, customized in between her and that group. Thoughts, feedback? Pretty cool, right? Now, people always say, well, the editing doesn't look right. She need to go in there and edit it. Yes, we do that on purpose because we want to make sure you read it. You know what people were doing at first? They would just send stuff. And if the AI messed up something, man, I can't believe y'all sent that. Did you read it? Only way we can force you to read it is make it look ugly. Because I know she's not going to send it with all them ugly spaces in there. Now exactly. It forces her to read it to improve it before we send it. But let's click full view, close full view, right? Let's say you don't like that one. Because you see how your bio was kind of messed up? Let's go to branding kit over on the left. And let's click on my brand. right? Now scroll down to the middle of the page. Let's go down to the middle. Scroll down just a little bit, right? A little bit more, a little bit more. Keep going, keep going, keep going. After that, and you see it has your signature. Click edit, that white edit button in the middle of the page. Click on there, right? And let's take those spaces out. Let's make that look a little better.
Take what spaces out?
Under your name, click that space under your name.
Okay.
And then hit backspace. And then go down to the next two and do it 2 more times. Yep. Now scroll down and hit save.
Just a signature line?
Yep. Just scroll. No. Oh, yeah. You can put whatever you want to put there, right? Perfect. And scroll down and hit save. All right. So remember, we were pitching in the search a second ago, right? But let's say she wanted to go find ones because she's been doing other stuff. Just click on pitches. Over on the left, you see it in the menu. And now you see you got one waiting. You see how there's no new ones, but there's one waiting. That's the one you had already started on. Click there.
Okay.
And click continue. We're going to pick up where you left off. And click open full view. There it is. Now it looks a lot better.
Gotcha.
Cool. Hit send. Send it. You just pitched that podcast. That's how easy it is.
Okay.
Questions, thoughts? This is it. That's the magic. Go ahead and stop the share for a second.
So question. So this system will keep up with when you send and the responses, or is that part of the CRM? That's another component.
No. So all of that is in there, right?
Okay.
But the responses come the same way. If you send an email from your iPhone and then you get home and you go on your computer and you can open up your Gmail on your computer, it's in your Gmail, right?
Okay. Yes.
It's the same thing. If you send it from PitchDB or Speaker Hub, as we're calling it now, if you send it from Speaker Hub, when you go and log into your regular Gmail, the response is coming right back there. We don't want to put an extra step in there. We want to make it easier for you to pitch. If you get a reply and you see it in your regular Gmail, you reply from there.
Got it.
Got it?
Got it. Makes sense. Thank you.
Any other questions?
So I have a question, Ron. How often do you need to go in and like refresh? If you've added stuff to your website, or you changed some things, does it automatically keep refreshing it, or do you need to go in and tell it to go look at it again or refresh it?
Yeah, well, I mean, you should always be updating. It's no different than if you update your LinkedIn, does your Facebook get updated?
Gotcha.
You see what I mean? It's still up to you to maintain your stuff, right? If there was some magic button that just printed money for us, none of us would be here, right? So we have to make sure that we're maintaining everything, right? We do a lot, but we don't do everything, right? I think we solve a lot of the problems, but not all of them, because there's no system that does that. Anybody who tells you they've solved all of your problems, run, because they're lying, right? But I'm going to show you some extra things that's not in the demo account. You notice I have conferences. And Vernita, she didn't have conferences, right? But now I got 11,000 conferences. We got another 40,000 we're adding, right? But you remember earlier I said, how many of y'all have a list of leads that you're not sending to? Vernita said, I got about 150. Cool. Click over here on leads and upload them yourself. And you can use the AI to pitch those. Because we know you get those spreadsheets. Ain't nobody going through a spreadsheet, copying and pasting a name. Nobody want to do that. We pay the money for it. We don't never do it. We buy the course that gave us all these spreadsheets. We don't never use them. But I can come over here and pitch this just like as if it was a part of our data set. Customize it directly to that conference, just as if we had given it to you. Does that make sense? Well, maybe I don't like the way it sounds. Ron, that don't sound like me. Cool. Let me show you something. I can come down here and make it longer, and I can change the tone. Right? I'm going to make it sound like Les Brown.
That is awesome.
Hey, Melissa, I hope this email finds you conquering energy, right? It sounds just like Les. It's so positive and uplifting. Right? So we can change the tone and the voice. Right? So imagine if something like this could get you one more gig. Right? How much do y'all charge for a gig? Are you all experienced speakers or just starting?
Just starting.
Just starting. Okay. All right. Put it in the chat what you all charge. Just so I can see who I'm talking to. Put your number, nothing to be ashamed of. Just put your number in the chat. If it's $1, cool. I speak for free. I actually pay people to pick me. So it costs me to speak. 4,500, that's good. Anything over $1 is good. 2,500, that's good. $1,000, that's good. 55, okay. Any of y'all offer other products outside of your speaking, consulting, things of that sort? You got another business where speaking will be driving business over to that business. $1,500, $2,000, okay, perfect. All right, how many of y'all believe 1 gig could get you that using this system could get you 1 gig? Right? So most of you all, I would assume, are what I would call emerging speakers in the first starting out. Is that fair? All right, here, I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you access to this today, right? Let me pull up my thing here. And let me show you. All right? One moment. I think it's this one. Here we go. Right? So here we go. Let me show you how we charge for this. So for emerging speakers, here you go. Here's my pitch to you. Right? So emerging speakers should be getting on more podcasts and associations, right? 15 minutes a day. You need to be pitching 2 podcasts and 3 associations. Let me show you so you can see that people are following this to the T. Some people are insanely pitching. Sayron has sent 398 pitches this week. She takes speaking seriously, to say the least, right? Matt Doherty has sent 46 so far this week, right? Robert Kennedy, so people are actively pitching. They're following the formula. Is that fair? All right, let me go back to what we was talking about to show you, but people are pitching, right? So here's what you get if you act today, right? We're going to give you Speaker Up Emerging. It's going to come with 100 pitches for you to follow the flywheel. We're not going to charge you the $3,000 setup, the $3,000 a year that it normally charges, that it normally costs. We're going to waive the $495 setup fee. You're going to get lifetime access, meaning you pay once and never have to pay us again. I'm tired of paying Netflix every month. I wish they would let me pay them one time and have access for life. That's what we're doing. No more monthly bills. Pay once, have access for life. We're going to give you a $1,000 discount and waive the setup fee, right? But you're going to get all this stuff. You're going to get that Speaker Up Gold page. You're going to get the Chat GPT feature. You're going to get the CRM. We're going to show you how I got 3,000 people to pay me from going on podcast. You're going to get access to all of our SOPs and all of our video libraries on how we do everything. There's like 30 courses in there, including a course from Les and Willie Jolly, right? You're going to get a bonus 500 pitches up front. That's how Sayron was able to send 600 because she used all of her 500 up front. She just signed up. So she was like, I'm going to send them all and see if this thing works, right? And then you get access to all of our future amounts. I mean, our future features. A lot of people was like, well, if you're going to give them access to life, if they paid for 2 years and you gave them lifetime access, that wouldn't be that bad. And I was like, yeah, that wouldn't be that bad, but I could do better than that. If you paid a little bit more than a year, but you got access for life, would that be a bad deal?
No.
No, because you're going to be speaking for more than a year, I would assume, right? But I'm going to do something better than that. You get it for $2,000 one time, which is less than what you would pay if you paid monthly, right?
Yep.
You can even finance that at $69 a month. Once it's paid off, you never pay us again. You have access to the software for life, for the rest of your speaking career, right? On that emerging level. And if you want to upgrade to the next one, all you do is just pay the difference, right? So you get this the Speaker Up Pro page, which is $349 a year. Outside of here, you get access to all the data. You get the Chat GPT, the CRM, all of that is there. It's $2,000. You can pay for it through a firm or Klarna. They finance it at $69 a month. That's pretty much it. I don't know what else to offer you. I mean, right?
A page to sign up is all you need.
There it is. I'm going to give you the page.
Sign up.
2 questions.
Yep.
Somewhere on there, you said when it's time for you to upgrade to the next one, you pay the difference. What does that look like? And then it's at 100 pitches per month included. What's the fee on top of the 100 in addition?
No, you get 100 every month, and that should get you on 48 podcasts in a year and 12 speaking gigs.
Okay, so you just can't go over 100. You use up 100. Okay.
We have things called pitch packs that we'll give you, but just the beginning. Here's the thing that we figured out: we got to get people to send 100.
Okay.
Right? Because if you're not even sending 100, it don't matter about the extra 500 you could buy.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But yeah, you could buy more pitches for cheaper. But I'm going to put this in the chat. I'm going to put the link in the chat and let me walk through it. Right. So let me share the screen with you and you'll see the 3 options. Because I don't know if everybody's an emerging speaker or not. But I presented it as if it was everyone was an emerging speaker. But the emerging speaker, that's the one I just showed you. The one that includes the conferences. And you should get this if you're aspiring to do conferences anyway, right? Because you should be pitching them all and using one to get on the next one. If you're aspiring to do conferences, I would do the professional, which is $140 a month. And if you're an elite speaker and you know that you're going to kill it, it's $260 a month for the elite speaker one. Right?
Okay, what's the flat rate for the pro?
Yep, the flat rate for the pro is $4,000 flat.
Welcome to SpeakerFlywheel Pro, the world's largest database.
Somebody's listening to it already. I heard it in the background.
Yeah, I was still sorry about that.
No, there's the link here. I just sent you the link directly, and you can choose which program matches what you're doing. And yeah, you can finance it directly. Any other questions while we're here? You get the conferences. You get access to 50,000 conferences, 3.5 million podcasts, 200,000 associations, 200,000 media outlets, right? All of that data is what you have access to. You can pitch 100 of them a month on the emerging plan, 200 a month on the professional plan, and on the elite plan, you can pitch 400 a month. Let me walk you through it so you can see it while you're deciding.
If you're an emerging speaker, you could still do the pro. You just pay that. It's
Yep,
the
you
same
just pay the
stuff.
difference.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
same stuff.
Same stuff, but you get conferences. The emerging doesn't include conferences. The pro includes conferences.
That's what I want.
Yep. And it's only a 5-minute difference per day in what you need to be doing to get those extra conferences.
Nice.
We give you all the data you need. But here's what you get. You get something more than the emerging. Not only do you get the how to get paid from podcast interviews, you get how to do corporate consulting also. And then maybe there's 1,000 leads or corporate leads that we don't have. We go get that data for you and you can use it privately in your CRM upload. Right? So what's your topic, Tom? I'll give you an example. What do you talk about?
A motivational, how to overcome trauma, how to overcome and have gratitude, and it's mostly about overcoming trauma and issues like that.
Okay, so let's say you wanted to go speak at nonprofit or charitable organizations, right? I'm just making this up, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
But we may not have those charity events in the system. We would go find 1,000 of them and give them just to you. Do you see what I mean? Yep. So with the pro version, we give you a little bit more because we know that your experience is going to be a little bit more niche than the emerging person.
Yeah. And you said we also get a CRM?
Yep, I'll show you the CRM feature. It's already built in. It's so seamless that you didn't even notice it. And most CRMs are built by companies for the manager to watch the salesperson, not really for the salesperson to be effective. So watch this. When I go into pitches, I can see and track all of my things. I can tag them just like you do in the CRM, right? Once I've sent the pitch, I can come in and I can follow up. And then I can put my notes.
Okay, so this is the CRM.
Yep.
Okay.
And the reason why that's important is that, again, it's not designed for you to track salespeople. It's designed for you to track your customers. So we made it so seamless that it doesn't even feel like I hate Salesforce. It's just, I got all these things. I don't need all that stuff. I just need to be able to, if Tom told me to follow up in February, I should be able to follow up with Tom in February.
Right. Yeah, because we just want to see who's responded and where we have an opportunity.
Yep, and that's what you get here. You see these tabs: new, waiting, sent, replied, booked, archived.
Yeah. For some of us elderly people, you might want to make those a little bit.
That's just on my, but it's larger in yours, right? Okay, you can zoom in, but I just made this.
I'm just saying.
No. On my screen, it's zoomed out because I'm on a 40-inch monitor. You can't see it, but I'm on a 40-inch monitor.
Okay.
So
my head is really big on your monitor.
I didn't say it, but I agree. No, I'm just kidding.
I love it.
I'm joking. I'm just joking with you. But you can see, you can put your notes in and everything right in that. Right? Awesome. You can see reply received on this date. And I can put my notes in and know when to follow up and all of that. Is that fair?
And and one other thing. So you have a like a help desk or people, like if we have something we don't understand or we need to find something, we can come in here and go chat with somebody or make a phone call or what have you.
100%. Right? 100%. So here's the basic videos that should cover 90% of your issues that you would run into. But everybody, when they sign up, they get an email from me and they get my phone number.
Oh, good.
Right?
Yep.
So over 4,000 people have my phone number.
That's awesome.
And they text me, Ron, I got this thing. Hey, can you answer my question about this? Cool. Let's see. Right.
Yeah.
If I can't answer it, I forward it on to someone on our team.
Yeah.
Got
All
it?
right. Yep.
So the basics are this: $70 until it's paid off, $139 until it's paid off, or $260 until it's paid off. Right? And you can always upgrade in between. So if you start off as emerging and in a year you're like, you know what, I should have bought the professional, we will allow you to upgrade in between the two levels.
Ron, I got a question.
Yep.
Then that was one of them. So based on that, roughly, if you did the 70, it's probably about what, 2 years to pay it off?
You
At
get to
70?
pick.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying if we did the 70,
Yeah, so this is financed over 3
years.
years at
or
70.
2 or 3, okay, perfect.
Yep.
The next question I had. So if we pay it all up front, we're done.
Yep, you're done. You never pay us again.
So let me ask you, do they all have access to media or only the elite?
Yep, they all have access to media. Right? And I'll tell you why. We
No.
know that, and let me explain to you, because I think this is really important. Your local media is always looking for a new story.
Mm-hmm.
We know that only the elite ones will probably get a lot of the national media because they have
Right.
to have the credentials to get that. But your local media will allow you, if you do enough, if I was going to go on TV tomorrow, if I said, you know what, I want to start a media press tour, right? The first thing I would do is I live in Illinois. That's my home state. I would look for every television affiliate in Illinois outside of Chicago, outside of Indiana, and outside of St. Louis. Because it's going to be little bitty Springfield, Illinois with 70,000 people. They wish somebody from St. Louis would drive up there to come on their show, right? It's going to be little bitty Peoria, Illinois. They wish somebody from Chicago would drive down to come on their show. But I could go there and practice. And after I get on that little bitty 70,000 person affiliate ABC channel, I'm going to take that. I'm going to send it to the Chicago one and say, I was already on Peoria and Springfield and Champaign. You should put me on in Chicago. Because I know which camera to look at now. I didn't know what camera to look at the first day. I'm looking all around. They like, hey, the camera's, hey, but now I practiced 4 times going on the little bitty town affiliates. So when I send it to Chicago, I send my reel. They see me on set at the ABC, the Fox, the CBS in Springfield. That's 3. They see me in Champaign on those 3. That's how you build so that you can go on the bigger ones. Because we got to build our reputation. You know what? I'm going to go on a soapbox for 30 seconds. The worst thing that ever happened in America is that we got rid of apprenticeships. You used to have to kind of work your way up into stuff. Now I'm a CEO tomorrow. Just because you can file an LLC don't mean you should be the CEO. What happened to building and getting better? Right? So that's how this thing is done. Everybody that you see on TV, became less over 50 years, 52 years of being less. It wasn't 52 days. He's giving you all the shortcuts that probably will save you the 5 years of learning them. But you still got to put in the reps, if that makes sense. So that's my TED talk for the day. But I wish that there were more apprenticeships that I'm willing to put in the work to win. It took us 6 years to build this. Right? I bought this company January 7, 2018. Before AI was AI, we were still dreaming about AI when we were building it 6 years ago. Now it's a reality. And it seems like, oh, they just came up with this out of nowhere. No. But did that media strategy make sense? Where you go in the little bitty towns, everybody got a suburb within 100 miles of where you live. You live in a major city that has a television affiliate. So that's, Victor, that's why we put the media in there for everybody. And it's worldwide media. Now, let me show you some of the results because I could talk about this all day, but I'm going to show you what's really important. Here's what's important. What's important is the results that we've gotten, people. Right? Remember, I did this for people, right? A brief call in a couple of weeks would be great. We have a women in food and agriculture brand. We'll be soon recruiting speakers for our event in Chicago, right? Hey, thanks for reaching out. I'm happy to meet with you. Our 2025 conference. They're booking 2025. They're talking about a meeting in June. They 9 months ahead. Does that make sense? So you gotta book conferences 9 months ahead. You book local associations 2 to 3 months ahead. You book podcasts 2 to 3 weeks ahead. So while you're waiting on the conferences, you got to be getting in the associations, greasing the wheels. While you're waiting on those to come, you're going on the podcast practicing. You see how it's the flywheel. If you're trying to get in a conference in September, you better be talking about September 2025, unless someone gets sick. Chances you get in the September conference 2024 is small. Is that fair?
Yep.
Right? I'm the correct person to speak with. Yes.
What should we be seeing on the screen, Ron?
Oh, you can't see my screen? Oh, my bad. One second.
No, we have the lifetime access. There you go.
Can you see it now?
There you go.
All right. Yeah, I was going through the actual emails that we get back.
Yeah.
Right. These are actual emails from our customers, like from the ones we do it for, because we get to see we're using the same pictures. Right. I had this is a corporate consultant call, right? We got this young lady in Forbes as a contributor. We got this person in the Real magazine, not one of these PDF magazines. Nothing against them, but this at Barnes and Nobles. Y'all know them steps. Y'all seen them Barnes and Noble steps before.
And did he have to pay to get into that too? Did he have to pay for?
No, they paid for that.
Okay.
When you write for these companies that we show you, they pay you $1 to $2 per word.
Oh, you better talk a lot.
Yeah. So this is what sustains you. You make $6 to $8 grand a month writing articles, one article a week while you're getting the gigs. Makes sense. This is what we do, right? And they're all using our tool, right?
Yeah, this is definitely worth it because I have e-speakers right now and I don't get I don't get 2% of what you just talked about.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a compliment. I appreciate that, right?
Yeah.
I got one more thing I'll tell you. Anybody who uses our software, if you actually send the pitches and at the end of the year you're not happy, but you have to send the pitches. If at the end of the year you're not happy, I will give you 100% of your money back plus $1,000. I've made that offer for 5 years. No one has ever taken me up on it. If you go in and you send the pitches that are allocated to you, and you don't feel like at the end of the year, like, man, this wasn't worth it. Yeah, I made my $5 grand back, but I don't want to keep going. Cool. All right, just give it back to you. It's better that way. I don't want you halfway in. I want you winning. And we'll gladly let you back, but you're gonna pay full price, and it's not gonna be a lifetime account. So, because all we're doing is getting better. As we keep getting better, we go, come on back. Yeah, come on back, Mark. We'll have you back. It's $1,000 a month. And you're like, man, but I had the lifetime. No, you remember we weren't good enough, right?
Well, if you check your books, I've already paid. So let's rock and roll.
Oh, that's incredible. Look at Tom. High five to Tom. Tom, how incredible is that?
And I did the pro.
Okay, and I'm gonna give you a bonus. I'm gonna give you a bonus.
All right.
A bonus to the pro. The pro normally comes with 1,000 leads.
Okay.
Anybody who signs up for the pro today, I'm gonna give you all of the bonuses that come with the elite.
Okay.
Is that fair? So you get all the elite bonuses, right? The one that I can include is the one where we make the speaker recommendations to the elite speakers. But when you're ready, we'll include that. but we'll put you on the podcast. We'll send out you into our newsletter over 115,000 people. We'll do all of those elite. So go over to the elite bonuses. We'll give you all of those minus the speaker recommendations, because we will be recommending you to speaking gigs that are a bit too large at this point.
Yeah.
Is that fair? How
Yeah.
cool is that?
There.
That's very cool.
Cool.
And we're all on Les's list too, which makes sense. And I mean, if those are married at some point, you know what I mean? Because Les gets calls all the time, he says, for he can't do a gig and then he needs people to recommend. Well, he says he wants to recommend his family, which are us, his students. And now that we're a speaker hub, that's, we're family with you too. So there you have it. I'm your
We have
first.
9,000 organizers that provide us with our leads, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're only offering 100 of these to people. Like, there's only 100 of them. We've already sold like 60. And Les was like, save some for my group. I'm like, I got you. I got you, right?
Now
Because
60
after this, they all go, the lifetime deal goes away, right? So, but I'm excited to have you all around. India, I think I saw, what do I know that face from? I think maybe she was on yesterday. Okay. I was about to say, I thought I saw you at NSA, but no.
No, it wasn't me there. I was on
I think you were there
though.
yesterday. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but we'd love to have you all on board. Again, we'll upgrade you to the next level of bonuses if you sign up today. The financing options are available. Any other questions from anyone else? Coach Sonia, Victor, anybody?
I'm in. I did emerging just to get it done because I got to be on a podcast in 5 minutes, so I got to go.
Cool. Perfect.
But I'm in, brother.
But I'll be in contact with you. I'll send you an email for your private onboarding.
Thanks so much.
Right on, Victor. Way to go.
Yes, sir.
Gene, did you sign up?
Actually, no, I'm struggling with it because it keeps telling me my phone number is not valid. I've been fighting with it for about 5 minutes.
Well, you're in Nigeria? No, I'm just kidding. Just joking.
Only today.
Right?
Thank you for your time. I really got to go. But
See you
thank
later,
you.
Victor.
All right, my brother.
Victor.
Look forward to working with you soon.
Yep, I'll be in contact for sure. Travis, where are you driving to?
Hey, I'm in NYC. I'm always in the car. Me and Dr. Mari always driving.
That's it. Okay, all right.
Yeah, thank you. I've asked Mark to send me the link because I can't really. I'm not supposed to be doing that right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mark will send that to you for sure.
I do have a question since my mic is open. You say you have the CRM. Like, I have Go High Level. I don't want to have 15 CRM. So how does that integrate with my Go High Level so that I can have my assistant not be in two separate systems?
Yep. But here's the one thing. So our CRM is about outbound, right? A lot of people have Go High Level for their personal customers that they're maybe selling their products and services to. This is only about speaking gigs. Does that make sense? And I think you should keep those separate, because you want to get blocked by event planners, add them to your newsletter. I guarantee you they're going to block you because they don't want to be bothered with your newsletter every week. They want you to talk to them when they need you. Imagine an event planner who does one event per year, but everybody who applies, put them on their newsletter. They don't want that. They get 1,500 applications for that one event. Think they want 1,500 new newsletters? Nope.
That makes sense. Okay.
So I'm just trying to save you the headache. If you want to get blocked, put them in Go High Level, right? The event planners.
I just want to make sure that I'm working smart. So now that it does make sense.
Yep. And it has a team feature. I'm going to show everybody. You bring up a good point. So I'm going to show everybody the team feature. And when you watch the recording, you can see this. There's a team feature here where I can go in and click on Teams in my settings. And in this team feature, I can give my staff their own login so that they, if they quit, they can't go in and delete all my stuff because they spiteful. Right? And then I can go and I can click that button and look in and make sure they sent the pictures they supposed to send. So you can monitor what your team is doing. And we just added something that says pitch in third person. And that'll be live this week where you can control right here under AI writer settings. You can control if you're the staff person, it should say, hey, I'm Ron Story. I'm reaching out for Travis. It shouldn't say, it shouldn't be pitching Travis from my email account. Is that fair?
Right. Travis Michelle, though. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
correct.
sorry. I didn't know if
That's okay. Got to
okay.
keep my brand out there.
No,
Travis
I got
Michelle.
it. I got it. Right. You know, I'm 100% respect the brand, you know. But that third person pitching setting is going to be there so that they can pitch in the third person voice, right? Linda, you got a minute? Can I talk to you for a minute?
Yes.
Okay. What's missing right now from your speaker toolkit?
What's missing? I don't have a speaker page and a speaker one sheet. So I do speaking, but I don't have everything collaborated together. That's why this was very exciting.
Okay. So let me show you what you're going to get. When you get Speaker Hub, when you get the Pro, this is our digital page. We charge $349 a year for. You get this for free. Everybody who signed up, you get this, you get the gold $349 a year thing for life. Right?
Okay.
That's huge. Now, why is that important? Because let's pick this guy here. This is your speaker one sheet. You can put your videos, all your stuff in there. Here's the thing. When you're emailing an event planner, how many of y'all ever got an email from somebody you didn't know with an attachment?
Yeah.
You opening that attachment?
Nope.
Exactly. So speaker one sheets are dead, but people keep getting them. But sending that to a stranger?
Yeah.
Okay. How many of y'all ever clicked the link in the signature though? You see someone's website or LinkedIn in the signature, you'll click on that, right? Because you want to see who they are. All you're going to do is put your Speaker Hub page in the signature so that when they click, they see the one sheet. They go to your speaker reel. They go to all of that. Is that fair?
Yep. Yep. That's fair.
So if we look here, let's go back to Sean. I like to use Sean as an example because Sean fills out everything.
Sean Fair.
Yep. So when you go on his page,
him.
Look what he did. He done put his stuff all in the background.
Yep.
Right? And then he put all of his speeches, my last 9 talks. Here's my 8 different presentations. Got 195 pictures. I got 15 speaker reels. You gonna find something you like about him.
Yeah, he's not shy.
Exactly. But why should you be?
I know.
Right?
You're right.
And on your PDF speaker page that they got to print out, they can't click and watch your YouTube. Right here, I can click right away and see it. I ain't got to leave. Tom, you got this. This is yours now. You have the same ability.
I'm excited. I like the fact that I can give my assistant her own access and she can work in there and do a lot of the things. I mean, I'm going to be in here too, but we're going to go through this together and watch the videos and stuff and really get this. And the fact that we're in the process of building my website and getting my branding done and all that, it's exciting also.
100%. Look at what Sean's using. He's using the flywheel. Look at all of his media coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You notice that? But then what else? He got the YouTube videos, got all of his speaker reels. He's telling all of his presentations. This is the flywheel in effect. Right? These are the guys I study. I'm like, Sean's one of my clients. I'm like, Sean, no, dude, let me know what's behind the scenes. He's like, oh, Ron, I do this, I do that. Here's why I do that. Cool. I'm teaching all my clients this. Thanks for giving me the game. Now I'm going to go and show. Right? Because that's what it's about. I help him. He helps me.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So how much do I believe in what he does? He's on our homepage.
Yeah, he's out there.
Right? But here's another thing. Every photo that you see on here are our actual clients. We don't have any photos of staged actors. All of these are real profiles you can visit and people you can talk to. What other company can say that? We got 60,000 of them. So we got a lot of photos we can use to show real customers. Right?
Yep.
You know, the president of NSA, National Speakers Association, Black NSA, Robert Kennedy. He's a user. He's in here pitching. Robert just got the CSP thing, Certified Professional Speaker, CPS, something like that, right? He just got that medal this weekend. I watched him get it. They had to vote and say that he was good enough. Right? Y'all know this guy, Mick Hunt? Mick is Les's business
He's
partner.
the Mick factor. We know Mick. He's got the Mick factor.
That's it.
Yeah, he spoke in Miami.
That's Mick, right? So everybody's using this. I just don't get out and talk much. I'm usually behind the scenes, you know? Any other questions before I let you all go? I've kept you a little longer than expected. It's been an hour and 43 minutes. I wanted to make sure I gave you value first. So even if you don't buy Speaker Hub and you don't become a client of ours, you should still remember you got to proactively pitch, right? You got to be proactively pitching because you're going to lose to everybody else who signed up because they're proactively pitching. You got to use the smaller gigs to get the bigger gigs. That's the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get on them podcasts. Remember, your favorite speaker you never heard speak live. You met them on a podcast or on a Zoom webinar or something, right? So use the smaller gigs to get the bigger ones. The third thing is got to learn how to give profitable free speeches. You can get paid before, during, or after. Les didn't pay me anything to show up today. This is a profitable free speech. Hopefully you feel like I've done it before because I got to practice what I preach. I can't tell people you can make money doing Zooms and getting on small groups if I'm not on Zooms and small groups showing them. I'm leading by example. I ain't in the back pushing. I'm gonna pull your ass, as my dad used to say. you know. So that's how we look at it.
So Ron, I'm actually trying to get on here. I'm just having some trouble with
Yep.
it.
You want to share your screen? I'll walk you through it.
As my firewall here, something like that.
Okay. But are you having an issue with the Zoom? I mean, with the Stripe page, or which one?
I clicked on the link that you sent so we could sign up, but
See you later, Vernita. Good to see you.
I am struggling here.
Which one were you interested in?
I'm debating between emerging and the second one. I'll probably just probably hop on the second one. But
So share your screen with us. Let's walk through it.
Okay, how do we?
Because there's no private information. We're not putting your credit card information. I just want to make sure you get to the screen where you can do that privately.
Wait a
Is that
minute,
fair?
Ron. You made me put mine in to buy this.
Not on the recording.
No, not on the recording.
Like you got to put your credit card in to buy it, but I'm not going to show your credit card.
But the down of it was when it was trying to autofill, the system did not want to accept that. I had to manually punch every line in, and then it went through. So
that's an issue with Stripe. I don't control that part.
Yeah,
because the website is the payment is through Stripe, so they got their own, crazy stuff sometimes. You going to share with us, Anya?
Okay, here we go.
I'm going to head out. Everybody have a great evening.
All right, guys. Tom, I'll be in
All right,
contact.
gang.
Tom, thanks again.
Bye, Tom.
All right, see you guys.
Ron, if you check mine, mine's paid to in full. I did.
All right, let me go and confirm.
So.
Let me make sure.
Quick question, Ron. Can I sign up with my regular branded email and change it when I set up
Yep,
the?
I'll change it with you. Yep, you can use whatever you need to use through Stripe, and I'll change all of that for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So yeah, walk me through a little bit here.
Great job, Ron. I'm sorry. I'll see y'all later. Good night.
All righty. See you later. We
night.
got
Easy,
Tom,
Mark.
we got Linda, we got Vic, and we got Gene. Everybody's ready to go. This is exciting.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yep.
All
I'll
right,
be in
gang.
touch. I'll be in contact with each one
Take
of you.
care.
Anyone who
Yeah.
needs help,
Love you
Okay.
all. We'll
I'll
see you
stay
on the
here with you.
mastermind.
All right, great. Bye.
Have a good night.
Okay, Ron, how you doing? Dr. Maury.
All right,
I won't
Dr.
be able
Maury.
to do this today. I've got a lot of considerations going on. New roof.
No,
So,
all good.
yeah.
I just want to make sure that it's out there, that
But
you know.
in terms of, are we able to reach out to you again
Yeah.
as
Did
a part of the
get the link
mastermind?
do you have the link in the chat that I put in the chat?
Yes.
As long as that link is valid, there's space.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
When you click on that link and it don't work no more, then text me.
Okay, that's fair.
But as long as that link is valid, there's space.
Yeah,
Right?
thank you so much. I got a lot of good considerations, but considerations nonetheless.
No, that's life. We all have to deal with it. So I 100% respect responsibility.
Amen. All right, so your Speaker Hub Pro, the private invite.
Yep, that's the bookmark
Okay.
that page.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yep, no problem. All right, Coach Sonia, let's see what the issue is.
Okay, so
Yep, I can see your screen. I see your mountains in the background with the golf course.
yes.
And in the window there, Speaker Hub Pro, put the www on the front.
That's what you want right there, right?
Yep, and hit enter.
So it's
That's weird. Do you have a different browser? Are you on a Mac or you on a what kind of computer?
Mac.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird.
And I've tried it here on my my HP laptop, but same thing. So I don't know.
Can you just go to speakerhub.com? Let's just go
Uh,
there. Just go to SpeakerHub.
Okay.
Speakerhub.com. Yep. And where are you located, Coach Sonia?
North Dallas, Texas.
Okay. Yeah, maybe because I don't know. I've never seen this. Maybe you're behind a VPN or.
It's taking forever.
Yeah, that's really weird. You know what? Can you open up Safari?
Yeah.
Let's try a different browser instead of Chrome.
Go Speaker Hub here.
Yep, and Speaker Hub at the top in the middle. Go into right in there and type in speakerhub.com.
Okay.
Yeah, this is really weird.
I'm offline. So why am I offline? This is, yeah, my stuff is real strange today.
Yeah, I've never seen this before.
Okay.
Can you go to CNN.com? Let's just see if it's working on any website. Because you definitely got internet because you're on here talking to us. And just click on their homepage there. All right, so I don't feel so bad now because it ain't even working for CNN. You see that? It ain't working for nobody's website. So that it doesn't seem like it's a problem on our side. Do you have your phone?
Yes.
Oh, there it is. It loaded after a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, try Speaker Hub again. Tiffany, did you have any other questions?
No, I should be in there.
Okay, cool.
I just got a receipt.
Let's see.
I will need help switching. I use the Tiffany at tiffanyelder.com.
Yep, I'm going to definitely set that up for you. No problem. Yep, perfect.
All right.
And let's see. Oh, it worked. Okay, perfect. Click up at the top where it says click here to learn more. See you later, Tiffany. I'll be in contact for sure. Thank you so much. This is exciting. You know, all right. Now click at the, you know, where we type in the name at the top where it says Speaker Up Pro. Click up there. At the in the address bar. Yep. And then take the home out and type in private invite. There we go. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, this is me reteaching the flywheel that we went through. And then those are the 3 plans. The early access for the emerging, pro, or elite. If you get the pro, I'll give you all the elite bonuses in there also.
Okay. All right. So just so right now that price is set on here and I can just go
Yep,
ahead.
if you click on it, if you click in the middle, I'll walk you through it. Just click the one you would want. Right? And then go ahead and click the orange button that says, yes, I want one of the licenses.
This right here. Okay.
Yep. And it's going to take you down and go down to the bottom a little further. And then you can click get started. And it should take you to the page where you will enter your credit card information or choose how you would want to participate.
Okay.
And if you wanted to do financing, you click on affirm. It'll show you what the payments would be. Or if you want to pay it all up front, you just go ahead and enter your information. But don't do that now on this while you're sharing your screen, because we don't want your information on the recording.
Exactly. I'm gonna hit stop share.
Yep, perfect.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for walking me through that. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm here to help, you know.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get going and then
It's exciting. I look forward to helping you, Coach Sonia. Let me know if there's any other questions you have or anything else.
Yeah, I
Travis,
have some, so I do have a question. So once I'm in here and I'm all set, get the receipt. So the whole startup, like, are there like videos or get right?
Yep, we do a full onboarding. You got to get an email from me with for you to set up a time to go through onboarding.
Okay.
Right. We're gonna walk the same way I walked them through sending their first pitch. We're gonna do that with you.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Got
yeah,
it?
that's all I have.
Yep. All right. I look forward to it. This is exciting.
It is. Thank you so much.
All righty. Bye-bye.